Calling all dot connectors. The video you are about to watch has already been banned by YouTube. It is clear that there are no links that our government and tech overlords won't go to prevent the truth from reaching the masses. Some of you may have got a chance to watch this video before it was taken down, but for those who have not, the full version can be found on X. Links will be in the description of this video. For those that don't know, anybody who donates to this channel gets a special shout out at the end of each video. But because I'm sure the second half of this video is the problem that YouTube has with this banned content, then those who were shouted out in this video will also be in the next. I can't stress enough how important your donations are. Each donation made keeps this channel alive. As always, thank you for your love and your support. This is DevinWorlds, aka the Dot Connector, signing out.
Strength and honor.
Strength and honor. Strength and honor.
At my signal, unleash hell.
What up, y'all? It's Devin with Up TV, aka the Dot Connector. And if you speak the truth, if you're a Christian, conservative, or if you ever publicly question the mainstream narrative, then like me, you probably know what it feels like to be canceled, censored, or banned. And you, nor I, will be the last, as rapper M.I.A. has officially been shunned by the entertainment industry and the media, aka the Thought Police, for sharing her thoughts with the world on X.
Yo, have you talked to Alex Jones?
Not yet.
You gotta, I feel like
He owes me a career.
Yeah.
He owes me my music career back.
So stay tuned as we decode exactly what M.I.A. was trying to say and reveal what her thoughts are about the state of the world, God, and being labeled a conspiracy theorist. This is another Up TV banned video.
I feel like everyone has suffered enough, like Julian suffered enough, the people have suffered enough. I do have optimism that the world is changing so fast that, you know, hopefully everyone sort of draws the line that, you know, the suffering is been enough, and that we can all sort of move forward into a different phase where we actually have really real relevant issues on surveillance and how we're going to go into the future, and how you know that sort of relates to everybody in the world, not just Americans. I think these conversations are really important, and those need to be had. And I think Julian's an important and an intelligent contribution to those kind of conversations. And there's no point, you know, locking him up and throwing away the key when we actually need to expand, you know, our knowledge on cyber, the future of what cyber surveillance and security and these things are.
M.I.A., a famous Sri Lankan British songwriter, rapper, fashion designer, political activist, and now a Christian, is no stranger to censorship and backlash. In 2010, M.I.A. was heavily criticized and canceled for saying that Google is connected to the government.
I guess after I made the M.I.A. album is when I found out what my name meant. After I got cancelled for saying connected to Google, connected to the government. And that was the opening of the record. And then obviously WikiLeaks and everything came out in 2010, 2011, around that time. But this record came out just before it. And so then, you know, it just kind of, it was about technology because the iPhone came out, and it was, the reason why that happened is because of my observation to do with the Tamil genocide, like what had kind of happened during 2009. And I didn't really think too much about the wider scope of how things were going to be in the world. Then everyone cancelled me.
In 2022, M.I.A. tweeted, "I might be the first canceled Twitter user back in 2010 for saying connected to the Google, connected to the government. They forgot I got different kinds of receipts." In 2020, M.I.A. lost a deal with Vogue magazine for tweeting, "If I have to choose the vaccine or chip, I'm gonna choose death. Yalla."
Yeah.
Sadly, I have some bad news.
The first vaccine tweet, I lost Vogue. And then the second vaccine tweet, I lost the GQ man.
I would like a Vogue graveyard. Everybody canceled from Vogue, I think, should be my friend, because I'm finding that there seems to be
a thread.
Yeah, Vogue will cancel you if you tell the truth, sort of a thing.
For those that don't know, Yala is her response to YOLO, meaning you always live again. But it wasn't the first time M.I.A. was canceled by Vogue. The first time they canceled her was when she urged Obama to give back his Nobel Peace Prize. M.I.A. was so bold that she criticized Vogue's editor-in-chief at the time, who labeled Obama's winning of the Nobel Peace Prize a vote of confidence. M.I.A. cleverly responded by tweeting, "But the people are the vote of confidence. They gave him that. You can't win an Oscar for a film you're gonna make in the future."
And then this GQ thing, this email that went out to presumably your PR person says, "Hey, sadly I have some bad news in regards to the GQ award and our upcoming photo shoot. M.I.A.'s current Twitter activity was brought to our attention, and due to its controversial nature," meaning the truth.
Well, the first time I got denied, I met Anna Wintour, and the first time I was denied the cover for Vogue was the day after Obama won. And that week he got the Nobel Peace Prize. And I walked into the office and Anna Wintour was like, "What do you think about that?" And then I said, "Oh, he should give it back because he's only been in office for about a week. He hasn't done anything. Why does he get a Peace Prize?" And so they pulled my cover in 2010. So I've always had this relationship with Vogue. And yeah, so I still kind of stick to that. I don't think he should have got the Nobel Peace Prize when he hadn't done anything. And I would say that if it was anybody else.
Bombing Middle Eastern countries at a rate that had never been seen before, but peace.
What is peace?
What is peace?
Over the years, M.I.A. has not been afraid to speak the truth, including the fact that after spending her life as an atheist in 2017, she became a follower of Christ.
Welcome back to the show. We have to talk about M.I.A. I was in high school when her song Paper Planes came out, and I would listen to it. I'm not even playing on repeat. And then I think she did a couple other rap songs with like other rappers and stuff, but she's a born-again Christian now. This is news to me, and I'm like so ecstatic about it, if you can't tell.
I tell you, I just listened to the interview again before coming in here, and it is indeed amazing. One of the things she shares, I call on believers right now to certainly pray for her, because if you are familiar with her music, you're familiar with her life and her stand, many of her fans are not believers. As a matter of fact, they embrace her because she wasn't, and because she spoke out often against faith. And now to hear that she has embraced Christianity and saying, yes, I'm a born-again Christian and I want that known, is a huge deal. So props to her. She says that Jesus came to her in a vision she was seeking for a long time. And literally her words, "It turned my world upside down." Now she says that she's certainly not perfect by any stretch, and she is still progressing, but she is happily on that walk and not ashamed to say it.
Amen. And let me just, to our viewers and listeners, let's not go after these new believers. I feel like Christians, we have a tendency to attack people. Well, you're still doing this and you're still doing that. Yeah, they're baby Christians.
Or lift them up too high.
Or lift them up too high. So let's give them grace as they walk this journey out, because it's new. And let's be honest, we were not perfect and we will never be perfect. So.
Amen to that.
You recently became Christian?
I became Christian, yeah. I got baptized.
When was that?
I got baptized in 2022. But I became a Christian in, I guess, 2017.
What sparked that awakening?
My real name is Madangi, right? And it's the goddess of music and spoken word.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, in Hinduism, which I didn't know. So I grew up an atheist. Even when I came out as M.I.A., I was an atheist. And my dad always said religion is used as is a tool for social control. And he was raised Catholic, though.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 10 through 12 says, Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you, falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven, for so they persecuted the prophets who were before you. These verses highlight what many followers of Christ, including M.I.A., face after giving their life to the Lord. When it comes to M.I.A., she received major backlash after simply saying, "Jesus is real." She responded to the backlash by tweeting, "The fact that the biggest backlash in my career and life I'm facing after saying Jesus is real is such a revelation to me. People who control these apps rather me be a bad girl than a good one." And this wouldn't be the last of her troubles, as M.I.A. exposed her manager Jay-Z for conspiring to take away her son and to not allow the Sri Lankan rapper to see her child.
She accuses her former manager Jay-Z of being paid off by the Brofmans, the family of her son's father, Benjamin. Benjamin's father, so Benjamin is her baby's dad, right? It's the former CEO of Warner. She alleges and he's also the heir to the Seagram's family fortune. Yeah, that's Seagram. Seagram's tonic, Seagram's ginger ale, baby, exactly. She alleges all communication with Roc Nation was stopped the day she was served by her ex for custody. She also mentions the government is okay with my child being with a family of convicted blank traffickers, referring to Sarah Brofman, who was found out to be funding a blank cult and the founder of NXIVM. It's a cult. If you guys don't know what, Google it, NXIVM. I would tell you all the sick things they were guilty of, but YouTube will demonetize me. But how are you from a billionaire family and you're out here funding sex, blank, cult? Anyway, you know how we know this is true? Because Sarah Brofman was found guilty of blank trafficking and racketeering. Billionaires were found guilty of this. They tried to make a cult. You know what? Let me not get into it. I'm going to be demonetized. Google it, but let's get into her accusations. Claire Brofman was sentenced to 6 years and 9 months in prison for her involvement with the notorious organization. Okay? This is huge. 2024 is the year of truth. And honestly, I do believe the fact that these billionaires were involved in that sick mess and was convicted for 6 years, that family's into some dark stuff. And they do have money, because I do remember around that time, she was like the hottest thing going. And just like that, she got blackballed. They would not play her music. She couldn't get any gigs. And I remember being like, what happened? And I remember that she was involved in a custody dispute in the Southern District of New York. And I also remember that she accused the family of basically destroying her livelihood, because one of the arguments that her baby's father uses, the billionaire son, was saying that she didn't have any job or any real money, and he's the only one that can care for him. Yeah, I know. Also, side note, they also tried to make an issue out of M.I.A.'s past. If you guys don't know, her father was one of the one of the biggest freedom fighters in the Tamil Tigers. That's where they were trying to get, of course, freedom back home. And it got so dangerous that her and her mom and her sisters and brothers were sent to the UK to live because they were not safe back at home. And I remember she said something really interesting, because she had a lot of anger toward her dad. And anyone that knows anyone involved in civil rights, she said, you know, my dad was concerned with saving the world, but I thank my mother because she only wanted to save the people in her world, talking about her brothers and her sisters. And it was just an interesting, very introspective take on what it actually means to be the daughter or a son of a freedom fighter, and the legacy that comes with that, and the unspoken pain and sacrifice that you have to get.
With M.I.A. constantly being blackballed and canceled for standing for the truth, it should be no surprise that her ability to put out music has been diminished for once again speaking out. In a tweet, M.I.A. stated that if Alex Jones pays for lying, shouldn't every celebrity pushing vaccines pay too?